Driver, step out of your vehicle.
Remember that one time you pulled me over when you were a police officer?
No, I would not have done that.
Yeah, you pulled me over.
No.
Yeah, you.
No way.
Yeah, you're like, whoop, whoop, whoop. But see, you didn't, because I just like, you guys had to turn around, but I got my ass all the way to your house, around the block, and parked before y'all got over there. I was inside the garage, bro. I was like, I climbed up in the bed that I had up in there, and I was like, I whittled these pins, little pins.
Yeah. You whittled the pins and you whittled the
saddle? That's the saddle, yeah. Whittled that down from the same dowel rod, 1/4-inch dowel rod. So we were talking about different seasons.
Seasons. And what came to my memory, first of all, was just meeting you at Guitar Center.
I would come in every day on my lunch from Aikens. That's when I worked at Aikens.
Right. We had that little red brick house in the village on Westchester there.
Yes, with the water tower.
Yeah, and we had this exchange.
Yeah, I remember. I'm just thinking about that time when we were like, and we wrote songs together.
Yes.
And we went to this one guy's house. I don't know who it was, and we just started playing it, man. We're like, and I would go, ah! You remember that?
Yeah.
And I'd go, ah!
I am so thankful that you are my God. I am so thankful that you are my Messiah. Thankful.
And that's when I do it, yeah.
My King.
That was so fun, man. I was like, man, I'm really jamming with this guy, man. I was like,
we jammed, man. You got good like power rhythm, man. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Tight groove, and you would do that like you do quick strums. I remember thinking, oh man, I don't know how to do those quick strums.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah, we were really.
I remember everybody telling me, you're going to see the dark side of humanity. I thought they meant the bad guys. And so I was out there on the streets and I wasn't finding the bad guys. One of my mentors, I said, hey, look, I'm just not finding the bad guys. And he said very clearly, I'm not telling you to profile, but you know what they look like. I thought bad people looked like poor people. I remember distinctly that I started pulling poor people over and they just didn't have insurance. And then at some point I really did not want to write poor people tickets for not having insurance. And it was just a sad affair. It was, and it gets darker, but I did see the darkness, and the darkness was in me.
Some cool times. We had some interesting times too. Where remember that one time you pulled me over when you were a police officer.
No, I would not have done that.
Yeah, you pulled me over. Yeah,
No way.
Yeah, you're like whoop, whoop, whoop. And then and you were actually you were training with somebody. Remember, because my tags were out, and you, yeah, you're the guy you're training with, and you're like, oh, that's my guy, and so. Anyway, I don't know how you got out, what happened there, but I just was like...
Right, I didn't have to write. So I was in training, and I had to pull you over for your tags being out? How come I don't remember this?
But see, you didn't, because I just like, you guys had to turn around, but I got my ass all the way to your house, around the block, and parked before y'all got over there. I was inside the garage, bro. I was like, I climbed up in the bed that I had up in there, and I was like before y'all even came around.
Wow.
And then I remember you telling me, I think you just said, yeah.
Did I know it was you?
Huh?
Did I know it was like?
You knew it was me. Yeah, you knew it was me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that was a time. Yeah.
It was interesting.
I was a police officer
Mm-hmm.
for almost 1 year exactly.
And I worked at Manhattan Bagel,
Yes. And you would bring
which
bagels.
went out of business.
And you would bring like a bag of bagels to the house.
Oh man, we got so bready on that. I gained. I remember I was like,
No way.
another bagel.
I remember that was. Yeah, you were.
I was biking it. I had that bike. Yeah, there was some times. I was on a bike.
Yeah.
You were kind of rescuing me from a time, and you gave me like this grace period to like stay. I think it was like 6 months, just to get like myself going and stuff. And I did too. I found something. Like I found something, man. It was a neat transition in my life to be able to like. I lived in your garage. It was so cool. It was through a harsh winter
It was in
time.
the winter.
Yeah, it was so wintry.
Goodness.
Yeah, it was cold.
Oh my God.
But it was warm up in my area. I had that heater and those blankets. So it was nice. It was nice.
I remember.
And then every morning you'd wake up and play your guitar in the kitchen was just on the opposite side of
Is that right?
yeah, it was like like your kitchen
'Cause
was
everything was on the opposite side, like the garage, the living room was.
well, the kitchen was directly
Right.
behind,
It was
where
a tiny little, like 900 square feet.
Yeah.
think.
yeah,
Little house.
it was like if this was your kitchen, I was in the loft behind that wall right there.
I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember right where that was.
Yeah, and so it was cool. I could hear you playing every morning sometime. Get on your guitar and be like,
I would sing. When I sang.
yeah, you'd sing. Yeah, you'd sing all kinds of stuff. I don't remember anything in particular, but you'd sing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I got that Taylor working at Guitar Center. The Taylor that I played, Olivia.
I don't have one thing from that time. All my instruments were new from after that time.
You had that wind blowing out there.
Man, it is tremendous.
It's really kicked up.
Yes. I wonder. Oh, well. Whew. It sounds like a tornado out there.
So yeah, Adam and I, we have this history acknowledging God together. We have this spirit history where we were working out our faith with one another. We met each other. We played music. Music is oftentimes something that is a spark of friendship for me. We have this musical friendship. I mean, I think it gives you a campfire to kind of hang around. And you're playing music together. There's a brotherhood. There's a connection, right? And then we have a common faith, a fundamentalist Christian experience, but that there was also a genuine experience of spirit in the midst of a limited form. Is that accurate?
Sure. Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Were we kind of realizing the limitations of church as we knew it? Looking back, possibly the rejection, a sense of aloneness, and then for me, I don't know. I'm not trying to speak for you. I can only speak for myself. I know I was having that experience. I was disillusioned. All the rejection and all the shame that I had stored in my being, I was busy projecting that out. This is a safe way for me to talk about it like that. It's like I was kind of raised up in a shame-based manner. And when I went out into the world as a young adult, I was trying to be strong and play my instruments and be somebody. Music made me feel like I was someone. And then trauma. There was plenty of it for me. And I know, kind of back to our friendship, there's been suffering playing around in me that's manifested in different types of neurosis that at times did not allow me to truly communicate with you, to truly be authentic and real with you. I can acknowledge that now, and it's not like, oh, I've got all that fixed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, oh, I'm better now. I don't hurt people anymore. Because that's just not the case. Somebody said, like, you can measure your enlightenment by how comfortable you are with your own hypocrisy. I don't know if that's true, but I do notice myself becoming. It seems like we're living in denial if I can't truly see my own foolishness and hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And the more I make peace with mine, the more comfortable I am with it and everybody else too.
Yeah. I remember that particular time. It was very. I don't remember what I was doing in my life then. I was trying to follow a call.
Yes.
Like, I had this feeling that if I hooked up with the right people or the right person, that something would blast off, and I'd get really far, in life. But something that was different than just working and stuff. I just, I never got that far because it was easier to go to work, make money, and keep steady that way than it was to give up a part of that and really study something. I could have studied music and I could have really taken myself a lot farther with skills on the guitar or reading music and stuff like that, but I never did. It was just like this. I do these spurts. I even do it now. It's like these spurts where I just I'm gonna go learn something, and I'll learn it real good, and then I'll have that, forever. But as far as this continual study person with music, I just haven't been that. I haven't created time because I've always kept myself in a place where I have to have a certain amount of, sleep for work, or a certain amount of concentration. There was something always keeping me from fully engaging in wanting to study, to be able to read music.
Your talent is quite developed, actually, and you're talking about seeing progress and change or a difference. I see your hands have undergone an education as I watched them play. You devoted yourself to the playing of the oud for a while. You actually learned and studied. You learned those melodies for your friend. What was his name you played for?
Oh,
Neil.
Callan Clark. Neil Clark. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. God, that band was so cool. I got to see you guys one night, at Galileo. Man, that was some powerful music. You said you were trying to answer a call on your life. Yes?
Yes.
What was that like? Where'd that come from?
Must have came from when I first said the Lord's Prayer in this little church called Wayside Chapel. And I said the Lord's Prayer, and my pastor told me, he said, Adam, God has a call in your life. And from that moment on, I always believed that God had some kind of calling on my life. And I've tried different things to fulfill, to answer that call. they might have been the right things at the time. I don't know. Maybe there's been several calls. Maybe there's always a different call, you know. Maybe as long as you stay present, the call changes and morphs as you go, you know. The call may be different tomorrow.
Right.
So I didn't really know that. I just went with what I felt, and that's what I mean. And so the call to me was, I wanted to be a part of my life back then. Okay, so it's very interesting now. Right now, I love music. I got a studio, but I don't answer this call very much because I got a family too.
Yes.
You know, and I don't get to come up here as often as I'd like. And even though I live here in this place at St. Francis of the Woods, and it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away, I don't get a chance to hang out here. So it's kind of like another. It's just my little home studio in another place. I get to use it whenever I have time, but back then I was playing guitar all the time. I really felt like I was going someplace, and meeting you like made me feel like I was answering a call. You know, it made me.
And you too. That's how it was meeting you.
Man, I was just a free spirit then. I was just running free, feeling good, and I thought that I was just kind of a free-spirited person. I don't know how I looked to you. I don't know if I looked troubled to you, or if I looked confused to you, or if I just seemed like a free-spirited person to you.
I remember just us being as honest with each other about a lot of things as we could possibly be.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about. As misguided as I may be at any point in my life, I do remember our friendship being a point of authentic joy and encouragement, and we were working something out together, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful. I truly am thankful just to be sitting here with you today. We're just experimenting with these cameras and this equipment. We've never really done an interview like this before. So
hey.
So we're just this is kind of we've recorded some music, and now we're doing this, and maybe we'll put it up on the YouTube channel.
No.
Maybe. Yeah, we agreed that we would. I agreed. We'll not post anything unless we both.
No.
So I'll put it up like unlisted, and I'll send it to you, and you can watch it.
Oh, cool. You can do that? Travis is a very good video editor. I feel like I have an audience, you know, because an audience, like when you take your eyes away from one audience area, then they get to see you look at somebody else. See, so that's how the cameras are doing. Like this. So my cameras see me looking over, and like, what the heck? But I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah. This camera's really awkward for me because I have to be like, I'm looking at the camera now, and just like looking away from Adam, obviously, you know, like, hey, spend some camera.
Yeah, I was like, how do I look at all these at the same time? So I got to kind of turn my body like this.
Right.
And then spin the chair a little bit.
I just decided I'm just going to go with attention toward you. Who am I talking to? You know, who am I talking to? Because I've been doing a lot of talking to the cameras alone. I know who I'm talking to. You know, like I've got a microphone, I got a camera. But with you, I'm like, now I'm like, oh, I've got a real. It's great having an actual conversation.
Oh, yes, I will look at you then.
Yeah.
Yes, you are the camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Right.
What?
It's one way to do. I don't know what's right or wrong. I'm just like, there's just a whole. I suppose if you did it together, more, you know, you would kind of. I guess you'd get into a group. You'd begin to understand it, and then you would be able to like, kind of. Yeah, you could start to flow together, and I mean, like I noticed myself at one point, like you'd ask me a question, and then I'd talk off into the stratosphere, and you kept bringing it back to kind of our time, which was cool. That was kind of like it's like the relationship. I mean, there was we were definitely, and I guess we still are, right? Like we're kind of exploring another space of like, okay, now it's over, but the cameras are still running, right? So some of it's really, I think it's probably necessary for the church, the stuff that kind of churns and boils in me. But then it's also connected to a lot of pain, right? because I was answering a call in that time in my life too. Like at one point, I felt like my call was to be a police officer, right? I mean, like that. I was really like I saw a blue sign that said service, you know, and there was a man at my church who was a police officer, and I went on a ride along with him one night and heard the bridge and yep, you're right there, you know. And like, I was like, oh, wow, that looks fun, you know. I'm a 25-year-old guy, and I was just like looking for some purpose. I think some like a reason to go someplace, a call. I was working out my salvation with fear and trembling, right? I mean, I'm trying to. I remember feeling like I never wanted to take anyone else to county jail again who was going to be cavity searched, you know. I mean, I knew it was. I answered the call in that form, right? And then I found out that that 1 year that I was a police officer, I learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot about life and about systems and about what it's like to be a police officer. And I have compassion for young men on the street now in those uniforms, you know, because I've been that young man. Just 1 year to find out that that's not really, that I did not want to be the hand of an unjust justice system. And your presence in that time was almost like you were the one who kept reminding me. You're the face of the one who kept reminding me. It was like, because I was joining, and then like, and our friendship was really strong, and you kind of kept this, like there was a balance there as I was, you know, like shaving my head and had the gun, you know, and just driving around with the sunglasses, you know, and just, because that was the first job I'd ever had where I had medical insurance and I didn't have to empty the trash can. Right? I didn't. All I had to do was just drive around and write 20 tickets a month. Yeah. And that was just a kind of it wasn't a quota. It was just a goal. You know, I mean, it's not a quota. It's just, but the goal and a quota at the end of the month when your sergeant wants you to fulfill it no matter what seems kind of like a quota. And then I heard another call, leaving that job, and then I think I went into probably, honestly, for the first time in my life, probably some kind of clinical depression. You know, it could be looked at that way. Like there was a big crushing because I was disillusioned then by the church and by the state. You know, by the justice system and having worn the uniform, and I was like, there was just kind of this. I think that's when my self-loathing, like the shame. I was about 27, 28 years old, and I think that's when it really started to come. You know, like because I had given my all to joining. You know, I mean, I gave that police officer role everything, and like that was how I was gonna, you know, feed my family. I was answering a call, and it was just, it was noble, you know, because I'm an idealist. I think like that. I really did see that, and I was like, I can do this. I can stand. You know, I can be noble. You know, I know there are bad things going on, but I can be good. You know, and then I kind of got in the middle of that and realized, oh, it chewed me up, and nobody ever punched me or shot me, or I'm kind of sensitive like that. That was a symptom of being chewed up, maybe. Maybe that's kind of what it is. There's a lot of chaos.
Man, I was just a free spirit then. I was just running free, feeling good.